The bread is here! Can you believe it? They were just about to throw all this away. What a waste.
There we go. Thank you. Hello. Hello, hello. I forgot to change the mic back after the ASMR stream. Hello. How are we today? It's Saturday. It's been a long week. My wrists are in a lot of pain. I rub them down with some pain gel. It's been, I don't know if it works. I don't know if this stuff works. One of these days I'm gonna make a yearly recap of streamer I watch who started stream muted.
The bread is here!
I don't do it as often.
Can you believe
I don't do it as
They were
often
just
because I
about to
usually
throw all this
I have
away.
measures
What
so
a
that
waste.
doesn't happen. Also, Kreb with the sub for 44 months. Holy moly. What did you do to your wrists? Nothing. They just decided that they didn't want to work anymore. Trust me, I would not have done whatever happened to my wrists intentionally. I have tendinitis on both wrists. I hate it. So I went to a doctor earlier this week. Very nice doctor, very kind doctor. He's a British doctor. He's from the UK, so he's got a really nice accent. But I explained what was going on. We just kind of mostly like got a usual first time at new doctor stuff. And you know, he'd asked if I've been taking like painkillers, ibuprofen, putting in gel and stuff, and I told him that for the most part I don't. I've been kind of just grinding my teeth against it. Kind of gritting my teeth and bearing it, and he's like, before we actually can do anything, you need to try taking like painkillers and stuff. And I'm like, really don't want to. He was like, we need to know if that helps lower some of the pain because it's inflammation. And as much as I don't want to, we have to do it. So I got some gel. I talked to a pharmacist, and it doesn't do anything. My wrist still hurt. I'll take ibuprofen like orally, like a Motrin or whatever. And sometimes it lowers the pain, but it not really for long. Not really for long, like maybe a couple hours. Which sucks because this is the sort of stuff that I can't like constantly be taking either. Like the gel has a limit of how much you can use every 12 hours. And it's like, what if it doesn't work? That sort of shit. Hydrate? Yeah, I've got some tea here. During Nat 19, I was also in the process of trying to take my nails off. I've only got 2 nails to go. Yeah, it's that thing of, he told me to do it for a couple weeks, so 3 to 4 weeks. And if it really isn't doing anything, to come back. And that from there we can consider if I have to do any shots. Yeah. If I have to do any like shots of like cortisone or something like that. It's a steroid that helps with pain and inflammation. Or even see how bad it really is. Thankfully there's no numbness, but it's pretty bad. It sucks. It sucks pretty hard. I'm gonna do that thing where I make it nice and dark in here. Make it chill vibes. There we go. Yeah, when I messed my wrist, I had a clawed cream that did nothing, and then a heat one that did nothing. I could only put some every 8 hours. Turns out it wasn't tendonitis, so it was useless. Yeah, so. And it's like a shot. So that's where I'm kind of like, well, fuck. I kind of need to just do this. But again, it sucks when you don't feel like it works. When you don't feel like it's working, it sucks. There we go. Get a little up close and personal again, like we usually do. Although, too close. Too close. There we go. That's good enough. That's good enough. But yeah, I'm kind of in this position. Thank you. I'm kind of in this position where I'm constantly in pain and I hate it. I'm constantly in pain and I hate it. So I'm kind of in this situation. Like yesterday I left work a little bit early. Thursday I didn't work at all because Jester and I were going to like look at rings and stuff. And I was a little sad because we ended up not really walking out with anything after a couple hours of searching and asking questions, which we knew. But it was still a little sad. Although looking at our options, it might be possible that I could get a custom ring. Because there was this one jeweler that it was like, some of our rings are this price, but depending on what you're going for, like, going through one of our jewelers to make a ring for you would cost just as much as some of the rings we have here. Like, it's not gonna have like a bombastic price just because you're asking for a specific design and things like that. And getting a quote from them is free, so that's something I'm considering. Because there was one ring design that I saw that I was like, oh my god. Like, I think after I processed it, I really, really got attached to it. But because there was a couple things that I was like, damn it. Like, this would be perfect if it was this, this, and this instead. Like, we were at Pandora, one of the stores, and one of the rings they have is a bow. And then it's got like these, it looks like 4 rings wrapping around your finger, tied with a bow. And they're like nice and dainty, but like the bow is nice and big. And the bow is like, the bow is just white gemstone. And it's like, this was really, really pretty. But I don't want like gold. Like if I was to have gold, I would like rose gold or white gold or just silver or sterling silver, but they were like, nope, we've only got gold plated. And it's like, well, that's even fucking worse. That's even worse. And then they were like, and yeah, we don't have it in, I was like, do you guys have it in sterling silver? And there was like, lol, no. And it's like, okay. And I was like, okay, well, like, you've already said no to the other one. Do you have any other versions of the gem in a different color? And like, nope. And it's like, you only got this design in one fucking color and gold plated. What kind of bullshit? So at the end of all of that, we were like, we'll come back. We might come back. We'll think about it. We didn't go back. We didn't go back. It's funny because like initially there was a ring that I fell in love with. And it was a really dainty ring with a little pink bow. But when I finally saw it in person, I still loved it. I still thought it was cute, but it was too small. It was very dainty. The gems were too small, and I was like, fuck. This just looks like a ring, you know? It doesn't look like something you'd be like, oh yeah, that's an engagement ring. Like, it didn't. Not that I want like a big, flashy, hunky ring. Like, no. It was just like, I don't know. I wanted something like, I don't wear rings ever. And if I was gonna wear a ring, this ring, I want it to be like, I want it to feel and be special. It doesn't help that the ring is also like a best-selling ring, so it's like, as cute as it was and as me as it was like, oh man, freaking, like, other people have this ring too. You want a ring that doesn't look like a kitty trinket? Kind of. Although again, the ring was really lovely. It was a thing of like, the very first store we went to was like this like hoity-toity ring like store, like a jeweler. And like they're showing us like the prototypes and the ones that are live and all that stuff. And they're like, this one's really pretty, and then this one's really beautiful, and this one's a beautiful shape. And it's all just a ring with a rock on it. And I'm just like, I don't like these. They're just a ring. They're just a ring. And I started getting anxiety. I started like feeling really uncomfortable. And after a bit, I was like, can we look at something for Jester? Like, let's look at something for him. Like, let's look at his options. And, you know, we looked and we talked and stuff and that. And after a little bit, we were like, well, this is our first stop. We have tons of options to look at. But when the lady wasn't around, I looked at Jester and I was like, I don't want to be in here right now. I don't want to be in here right now. I hate it in here. I don't want to be in here right now. I'm not gonna say it fucked me up because that's not the case. It was just, I did not want to be in there anymore. I was like, it was like all these rings, all they had to them were, it was a band with a rock, and some of them had like a little halo of rocks. Some rings maybe had like rocks on the ring itself to like accentuate it. But it was just, these are all just diamonds. And I'm like, yeah, they're pretty, okay, and they're really sparkly, but like, is this it? Is this all you guys have? Just a band with a rock on it and call it a day? $2,000 to $5,000, please? Like, no, I don't want these. These are boring. These are boring. And one of the reasons I entertained Pandora, at the very least, because I was like, I don't need an expensive ring. I don't need anything expensive. It doesn't have to be diamonds. It doesn't have to be gold. And I'm just kind of like, bruh, I just want a ring that feels like I want a ring that feels like the person who gave it to me knows me. Which is really funny because I'm still picking it out. Which is really ironic when you consider that I'm still the one picking it out. But like, I don't know. I just want something that like I feel like captures my vibe. Yes, yeah. Feeling pressure to make a choice when nothing feels perfect is fertile ground for a panic attack. Yeah. I felt like if we stayed in there any longer, looking at rings and me just not being down for any of them, because I was just not impressed. Like, I was about to, like, if I was a worse person, I would have just kind of looked at her and been like, so do you have anything that isn't boring? But I didn't do that because that's not the point. It's like,
you have to understand that everybody's tastes are different.
Yeah, but everybody's taste is boring.
But that's okay. That's okay to have that opinion.
Yeah, that was.
Don't be a dick though. And it's
oh no,
good.
that's
It's
yeah.
good that you weren't.
That's the thing. That was my main thing. My main thing is just like, God, these are pretty. These are pretty rings, but I don't like these. I don't want these. These are like, this is just it's just a ring, you know? There were some really pretty rings in Pandora that had a lot of personality. Again, some of them were like heart-shaped gems. There were some very, very pretty rings. But it's that thing of like, obviously because these are more just like rings to like accentuate a style and stuff, it was like, I looked at the Pandora lady and I was like, it is for an engagement ring. So I know this might be weird that I'm like, I'm looking at these rings when we're looking for an engagement ring. And she was like, oh, you're looking for an engagement ring. And then like immediately put away all the rings I was looking at. And then like pulled out the boring fucking rings again. And I'm like, because literally, like, I was looking at the display of rings and I found the little pink bow heart ring that I liked, that I like fell in love with. And you know, she comes in and she's like, how can I help you guys? Blah blah blah. And you know, we talked to her. And she's like, what size is your ring? And what's your ring size? And I was like, it's this. And we start looking at all of the rings. I have this silver band and this other silver band, but a little bigger. Like, I'm gonna like get pictures of like the rings I was looking at. Or at least the rings that stuck out the most to me, so that you guys understand. But anything can be an engagement ring if you're using it for your engagement. Yeah, and again, that's kind of the philosophy I'm going on. But now it's the thing of, oh, you're letting me pick what I want. Well, if that's the case, I want it to feel like me, you know? But, I do kind of get that engagement rings are weird. It's like, hey, I want this ring to be pretty and wonderful, but not so pretty and wonderful that I like it more than my... Well, here's the thing. The wedding ring is just a band. It's just a band. Like, some people do things with wedding rings, but it's just meant to be a band. The engagement ring is the one that has, like, the flavor and the aesthetic, and the wedding band is just something that's going to be over or under it, depending on, because you're going to be wearing them together. The idea is apparently that you're wearing them together. And I was like, okay, you know, okay. I hate that there's no picture of this ring on a finger. Because the issue might still be the same. There was one, like, ring with a pearl on it. It was like an oblong pearl, and Jester was like, just don't get that one. It looks like a tooth.
Looks like a fucking polar.
Ring shopping can suck. I was lucky there was a ring already in the family that held sentimental value that I wanted for my engagement, so I didn't end up going ring shopping. I'm such an empathetic person that I felt like ring shopping would have sucked because I would want it to mean something, which I feel like is hard to find in jewelry. Yeah. Thank you for a comfort gallon. So, like, let me... I don't want to, like, pull up a bunch of pictures. But just know that I was looking at, like, all the bow-shaped stuff in Pandora, which isn't a lot. So then I looked at, like, other things that would, like, maybe feel right. But, long story short, once I saw this one ring, I was in my head like, oh, I want, like, this, like, little bow ring. So let me just make sure that, like, I never actually saw this exact one in the store. There was also times where they were like, oh, well, you can buy, like, a second ring and, like, and stack it with that ring so that it looks, you know, a little bit better. And I was just like, this was where I had to, like, and maybe it's just because I'm always worried about, like, freaking being that person that I always, like, really try to choose my words, where I was like, I totally see what you're suggesting, and it's not that I hate the idea, but I don't want to buy multiple rings to make my quote-unquote engagement ring look good. I don't want to wear 50 rings and that be my engagement ring. I just want one ring. If I was shopping for, like, casual style rings that I was like, I just want rings for, like, one that works for any outfit, then yeah, we can consider stacking rings. But it was a thing of, like, no, this ring is too dainty. This ring is too, like, small and, like, very, very cute, but it needs more oomph. That doesn't mean give me another ring to accentuate it. I don't want that. That's not the point. So there were a couple times where the Pandora lady was suggesting, like, oh, well, you can also stack it with this ring and it'll give it a bang, and I was like, once more, the moment another ring has to be introduced, I'm not interested in the idea. I'm really sorry. But there felt like times where it felt like she wasn't entirely listening to me, or maybe just, like, trying to hope that she can convince me. And I know they make commission. I know them girls be making commission. I understand, girl, get your bread. But I am telling you, if I have to wear another ring on top of if I have to wear another ring on top of it, and it's not the wedding ring, I don't want it. Something cool to do with stacking is to make the wedding, yeah, is you make the wedding band slot on top of the bow. Maybe. Would you want a ring that looks more on the fantasy side? Would that be too much? No. So looking at this ring right here, this ring, I gotta make it, like, daytime. Hold on, or it's gonna be stupid. I gotta take off my chair and my... Okay, so this ring right here, this was what it was. This is what I saw at Pandora on their website, and I was like, that's just me. That's a ring. That's me as a ring. That's just me. It's a cute little pink bow. The little stones there are cool, like, whatever, cool. But my thing was I hyper fixated on the little gem bow.
Yeah,
Hecking Grant was like, oh, it looks like an hourglass made of 2 hearts to symbolize the joining of you and Jester and the time that you've been together. And I was like, nah, bro, it's because it's a bow. Nah, bro, it's a bow.
This is all it came to a heading.
It's a bow.
Nothing else matters. The enjoyment of 2 people, the fucking bow.
A bow.
No.
Though I don't blame him because the picture that I originally showed, it was vertical, so you would see more of an hourglass than a bow. But
And
this.
it's full of baloney.
So I saw this, and I already loved the concept of taking 2 heart-shaped gems and making them look like a bow. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was ready for this to be my ring. Where it was like, okay, my turn to pick out the ring. Okay, Pandora, this one, my size is 7. There you go. Ring done. Have a ring now. But no, she was too small. She was too small. She was too dainty. Too dainty. When I saw her in person, too dainty, too small. And I was like, all the bow had to be was a couple millimeters bigger. Just a couple millimeters bigger. There's another ring in Pandora's store that looks very similar. It just unfortunately doesn't come in pink. But I didn't see this one in the store. And if they had it, they sure as fuck didn't recommend it. There's this one. So I should have gotten a picture of the gold one. This one, if you gave me this band with this size bow, oh, absolutely. And make it pink. Absolutely.
Lamau.
Like, but they didn't even, sorry, I had, saw one I had to send because it's very pretty. Let me see what you sent. Oh yeah, I saw that one. That one is pretty. Where I think that was also in Define Jewelry Store. Yeah, I saw this one. The thing is though, I kind of don't like it because it looks more like a headband for your finger. Like when you look at it, like when you're looking at your hand as you're looking at a ring, you kind of don't see the bow from an area, because I saw the over top view of it and I wasn't feeling it. But yeah, I've seen that one. I also went on Etsy, and there's just a lot of people that are literally just selling these Pandora rings. But yeah, I saw this one on their website and I was like, fuck. If it was this size of rock with this size of band, done. But nope. And I was trying on a bunch of rings. I even tried on like their Disney ones because there was like a Snow White one that's a bow, but I wasn't really feeling that one. Very, very pretty rings. And again, I was looking at a lot of them and then I was like, this is for an engagement ring. And then I don't know why. Again, I'm guessing it's just because the other rings are the more casual rings. But like, she had immediately like taken this big thing of size 7 rings and she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll go get the good rings. And it was like, but I want to look at these. And then like she was showing like the ones they have for engagement. And then some of them had like, they were like, if this rock is too small, we've got like it's got 2 more sizes up. And I was like, yeah, these are pretty, but like, I don't like them. Very boring. They're very boring. And then at some point they were trying to figure out like the other gem sizes and stuff. And at some point she was like, do you want to look at the other rings you were looking at again? And I was like, yes, please. I would really like to look at those again. And we took a bit trying on stuff and I saw this ring. Oh, I saw this one. This is a singular ring. And the bow was a very nice size. And it kind of reminded me of like taking lace and wrapping it around your finger and then having the bow. I saw this and I was like, this is gorgeous. Like, I stared at it for like a good like minute and I was like, oh, I really like this one. Cause it's funny, cause like there were some, again, I was like, I didn't like the idea of stacking rings. I didn't want a chunky band. I didn't want a too dainty band. But I looked at this one and I was like, this one's hitting something. This one's hitting something. But the only main problem is that she's gold plated. It's not solid gold. And if it's gold plated, it means that if you're gonna wear it every day, which is the idea with an engagement ring, is that within a year or two, I would have to go to a jeweler and get it replated. And I was just like, and I was like, you guys don't have this in any other color? You guys don't have this in sterling silver? Like, I don't need a gold ring. Like, I'm fine if it's not a gold ring. I would just want it to be a metal that I don't have to worry in a couple years of like maintenance that comes with additional cost. And they're like, no, it's just gold plated. And it's just like, guys, you're sitting on something great here and doing nothing with. Ugh, I didn't say that. I was just like, guys. I was like, guys, almost. Like, I even looked at Lady and said, and I was like, if you had, I looked at her and I was like, if you had this in gold, in solid gold, I could have lived with it being gold. I could have lived with the gems being clear, because I also said at some point, I don't want a clear gem. I want a colored gem. I want a colored gem.
Well, we've also come to the conclusion that zircon might have the same problem as plated gold.
Yeah. But I told her, I was like, I could have lived with a clear gem. I could have lived with it being gold. This would have been the ring. This would have been the ring. I would have been really happy with it. You know, again, I prefer colored gemstones and rose gold, but it felt the most me. And we walked out. We took some time to think about it. We went to another jeweler where, again, a lot of wonderful options, a lot of beautiful rings. We were pretty direct upon walking in, where it's like, hey, so I kind of want a ring with a bow motif. I would prefer to not have clear gems, but I'm willing to reconsider depending on how it looks. I am no preference between rose gold and silver / white gold. Regular gold is kind of on the low end there. Surprising it seems. Yeah, no, seriously. That store, the second store we went to, had one ring that, funny enough, was in their 50% off. One ring that was a bow motif, but it wasn't, I didn't like it. It was a metal bow with like little gems inlaid in it. And I was like, no, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. And eventually, the lady, the main lady that was there, she was like so enthusiastic, loved hearing about, like, you know, asking us questions about like, when are we getting married? When did we engage? What are you guys looking for? Because at some point I was just like, I was looking at the rings and trying some on and getting a feel for maybe what colored stone I liked, because they had a birthstone area. And at some point I was just, after having them like pick out rings and stuff for me, I just kind of was like, I started feeling the anxiety come back. And I was just like, I looked at Jester a couple times, being like, can we just look for you now? Can we just look for you now? Because it started getting to a point, that the more I looked at something that I knew was not what I wanted, I was getting upset. And at some point, again, when this other big lady, I'm gonna call her, I don't remember what her name was, but I'm gonna call her like Angie. Let's just call her Angie for now. And because the two initial ladies that were helping me, like A and B, were very nice, very knowledgeable, but we had asked a specific question. I think it was for Jester's ring. We asked a specific question, and they were like, this is an Angie question. Do you need more comfort, Gallon? I'll be fine. No worries. Thank you. I'm gonna keep this up here just so you guys can kind of like, again, like, see. So Angie comes in. She asks this question. She's super enthusiastic. She sees like the little ring tray that we've got there, and some of the rings that I was trying on were still there. And she was like, oh, are we looking at these? And I don't know if, I don't think it was Jester that said anything, or if it was one of the ladies. They were like, actually, those were the ones that she kind of wasn't liking. There's a motif that she's really, really attached to, that, you know, that she really wants to have, and it's like she wants like a bow motif. And Angie was like, oh, did you show her the one that we do have? And they were like, yeah, we did. She didn't want it. She didn't like it. And at some point, she had mentioned, because I talked about, you know, how I had, like, I saw this ring on Pandora's website, and then, you know, we had gone there, and they were like, oh wow, I love Pandora, like their rings are so cute, there's so much personality in their rings, blah blah blah. And I started talking about, you know, what I liked about what I saw, and I even showed them this one. And Angie was like, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. They don't have it in like... I was like, yeah, I know, right? They don't have it in this way. And heckin', she was like, well, under this chain of jewelers that you mostly find in malls, we do have ringsmiths and jewelers. You know, our company is founded on the idea of, you know, we want whoever's going to be wearing the ring to be the happiest. We want, you know, the brides that come in to be happy. Most of the time, we have people coming in being like, we're being married in like a month. And they're like, yeah, we can work with that. But because me and Jester don't have a date yet, and it's gonna be like at the earliest spring next year, they were like, you have plenty of time. And that's when she presented the idea of, have you considered a custom ring? Like getting a ring custom made. I'm actually looking back at the chat because there was some messages I missed. When I picked my wife's engagement ring, I had the opposite, the usual problem. She didn't want a big diamond because she wanted to wear it for work, so it had to be a bunch of smaller diamonds in a roughly rounded shape. If nothing sticks out, leave and save that energy for somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah, where I live, there's a forge that offers public blacksmithing classes, and one of the classes is a Damascus steel ring. If you want something different, you can make your own. Yeah, I'm just gonna learn how to make a ring. I don't think that's on the table. But yeah, they brought up working through them to essentially commission a ring. And I was like, that sounds like it's gonna be a lot of money. And they were like, well, you've got a design, or you can even take this and make it more unique. We can change things up. Give it a month of research, I'll figure out. They were like, hey, we obviously, yeah, custom ring. They're like a ring that is made by our jewelers will cost as much as any of the other rings that we sell here. But the best thing about commissioning a ring is that you go through us, you tell us, you give us a design, what materials you want, what gems you want inlaid in it, and we pass it to our jewelers, and they give you a price of what it would cost to make this ring. And that part, the quote, is free because it's just being like, hey, if this was made with this much money, with this material, with this kind of metal, and with these stones, how much would this cost? And they go from there. In the case of something like this, would I if I was to then from there order a completely customized ring, would I want it to look exactly like this? And that part I don't know yet. That part I don't know yet. My mother's ring actually grew to incorporate family. She had a band with, I think, 3 diamonds and then 4 sapphires. Wow. Heckin'. That's the thing here. It's like, I'm looking at this ring design, and like, there's little gems everywhere. I'm trying to make it like, there's little gems everywhere. There's like, oh cool, and that's just pinned on my face. There's the center of the bow that has like little gems. There's the upper ring that seems to be like inlaid with like little gems. And I feel like, knowing me, knowing how I still want to be relatively prudent, I'm probably willing to not have the gems on the band. And probably not have the gems on the center of the bow, and just have the 2 gems that are the main body of the bow. I know that I absolutely, if I'm able to get it the kind of gold that I want, I would want it to be rose gold. I'm so fortunate that I have a skin tone that all tones of gold look good on me, but I love rose gold. And it was freaking Angie lady was being like, have you considered pink sapphire? Do any of the jewelers you visited have loose gemstones for you? No, they didn't. Some of the ones that we went to were like strictly diamonds. But like this jeweler was like, we can work with whatever stone that you need. So like, if I was to have like a gemstone, I told them I would relatively like something pink. To which they were like, what about pink sapphire? And it's like, I was like, I don't really super care what gemstone it is as long as it can be pink. As long as it's glittery and pink. But I was just like, yeah, we can humor pink sapphire, for example. But like, for example, like I think it was called Morganite, I think is another pink gemstone, though it's a lighter pink. Some tones of amethyst can sometimes be more pink than purple, though purple's usually what people recognize as amethyst. Things like that. And then, yeah, and then there's like, if we were to keep the gems on the band and in the center, I'd probably go with, it's called moissanite. It's called moissanite. It's only 0.75% not as hard as diamond, but it's cheaper than even lab-grown diamond. Would you be fine with hot pink? I hate hot pink. I hate hot pink. But my brain. Moissanite is unlike diamond. That is at, I think, 10 in the hardness scale. It's 9.25. White, pure diamond, only reflects like white light, whereas moissanite is more of a rainbowy, but I don't care. And while lab-grown diamonds are much cheaper than natural diamonds, moissanite is cheaper than lab diamonds and do not cloud over time as well. They might cloud a little bit, but that's nothing a little bit of cleaning doesn't fix, essentially. They're quite dark in color. Some of the pictures I saw didn't look as dark, but I'm willing to believe. I haven't like truly seen one. I've only seen pictures. But I would probably entertain pink sapphire and moissanite. If I was to keep the little inlaid diamonds here, or inlaid gems here on the band, but if it ended up being too expensive with even moissanite, then I would probably do away with all the tinier gems and then just have the 2 pink sapphires, and see where that goes on rose gold. But I don't know. It seems like we've generally, more or less, Jester just has to make some final decisions. It seems like he has a good idea of what kind of ring he's looking at. And I swear, guys, you can get away with so much stuff. Be thankful you can get away with so much stuff. Like, the ring he was looking at was like not even $300.
No, it was.
It was?
Yeah, I was way above that. Your mindset's stuck in that because I told you it was less. Because it is. It's on discount. 25% off.
Oh yeah, it's on discount.
Yeah, it's normally $500. It's on for like $375.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing too. They're on.
I'm also looking at a ring without gems. Like.
Yeah. That's another thing too. That store is currently on discount till like the end of the month. So it's like I could even get a discount on a commissioned ring, which is why we're also like, we need to think about this.
I don't think they discount commissioned rings. I think that's the thing.
We could ask again.
I'm pretty certain they said anything that's created is not discounted.
Oh, okay.
But that's also why I said anything that I'm getting discounted, we can just put into yours. Like, I don't care.
Oh. Well, we'll see. I believe you if you said they didn't.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it doesn't matter. Fine.
But yeah, it's possibly familiarizing yourself with stone cut shapes may help with the design. Again, it seems that heart-shaped gems are definitely possible. I just don't like it, and it can be like triangular even. It doesn't have to be exactly heart-shaped. It can be triangular. As long as, again, it can come to be a bow. But that's something I have to think about, where it's like, okay, well, do I still want that lace wraparound feel on my finger with the bow, or do I just want a band with a bow? Or maybe do I want like 2 crisscrossing like laces with the bow in the middle? Like there's a couple designs we can work with, and if commissioning is a possibility, I want to be able to make it unique, not just a bougie version of what I saw at Pandora. You know, that's another thing too. Is like, do I want to copy that design for my ring? Then
Don't yawn, that's contagious.
No. And then, oh, you gonna give me your Henry? Thank you. And then, again, the cost is what's really kind of scary. Like, I guess the thing that's making me think about stuff is people saying, you're gonna be wearing it all the time. The idea is that you're going to be wearing this for years and years and years, and you want it to last. And I'm like, okay. So what I'm hearing is now is not the time to be cheap, and my brain does not compute.
Yeah, I've said it to you several times. I'm like, it is okay to be picky. Most people will be picky. We are fortunate to have financials to a point where we can decide to be picky. Mm-hmm. We can't be extremely picky. Mm-hmm. We are not rich. But yeah, this is something we are going to have for a damn long time. Mm-hmm. We are more than welcome to be picky about this.
Yeah. So that's where it's like, okay, well, we gotta... Honestly, I think I'm just more scared of asking the question and then being like, it's gonna be, get my money, and it's gonna be a lot of money. Yeah. So then there's... Freaking, with multiple people to have done this, you can make yourself happy in this case. Yeah, that's, again, it's just, I think the worry of being quoted, and it's like, I can't afford that no matter what we do. I think that's the thing that really scares me, is that if I create a concept for a ring, or I decide to go with this one, and I get attached to the idea of it, and then I'm told that it's out of my reach, that's gonna be like, fuck. If I recall correctly, the original purpose of the engagement ring was, you can sell this if your husband dies and you need some cash. It's a literal investment.
Well...
No. I didn't know that was why.
Put that on your finger for when I pass away.
I didn't know that was the reason why. Well. Okay. No. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that was where the original, that's morbid. Wow, that's dark. Give me one quick second. I'm gonna grab just something I've got sitting in the oven, because I'm getting hungry. B. What else were you gonna do? Get a job? You're welcome, everyone. I mean, again, it makes sense. It's understandable. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I was, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, the more you know, I guess. On, Yum. Well, that being said, with said engagement ring, we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm more so worried about the potential cost because I think too much. That said, for me, that was mostly the argument I made to get my wife through her spending guilt. It's the exact thing. Like, we'll definitely figure something out. And if well, I don't know. We won't worry about it. I think money-wise the thing worries me because that's my pizza.
So what was mine yesterday?
I was high. You can have a bite, but what is my pizza? I gave you a slice of my pizza as recompense. Why you gotta take a bite out of this other pizza of mine? It's my pizza.
No.
You ate your pizza. You ate the...
We're a couple now. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine.
It's my pizza. I said hello, hello.
Where's the not anymore meme?
How come? The reason I think about money too much. The reason I think about money too much is also because of just like the fact that like my brain's not working. These past couple of weeks that my wrist has been getting really bad. I've mostly on Fridays I've been leaving work a little bit early. It always makes me feel bad because it's like I already grinded my teeth through 7 hours. Just do your last hour of work. And I'm like, no, my wrists hurt real bad. Medical bills? No. Thankfully, no. I'm in Canada. Thankfully, no. I'm just always worried about spending a lot of money in one place. And I'm always worried about being responsible with money. Because for the most part, I tend to be very on top of my spending. Yeah, replace bills with longer wait times. Exactly. So it's that thing of I'm mostly just worried about, like, funny enough, what if an emergency happens and I need this money for something else? Or again, just not used to spending a lot of money in one place. And the fact that I've been working the full 8-hour shift for most of the week. And then on the Friday where I'm like, I gotta go home, my ribs hurt real bad. Because usually on my other days that I'm working, because our store is open from 10 to 6, there is no leaving early. There's grin and bear it for 8 hours. But on Friday, we're open 2 more hours. And I'm already opening, so I still can leave at 6. But again, these past couple weeks, on Fridays, I've been leaving at like 5. 'Cause I'm just like, you know, the closers are here. Can I go now? And I feel bad. I feel real bad.
No, Don't get guilt tripped. Nobody's guilt tripping you.
I know no one's guilt tripping me, but I feel bad because again, it's like I'm leaving on my last hour. It's like I wasn't complaining the first 7. Why am I complaining now? And my brain just doesn't. I feel bad.
No.
I worry that people think that I just want to leave.
Doesn't matter what they think. Your boss doesn't think that.
I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't. Boss man's real good. Boss man's a really nice man. I just worry way too much about that sort of stuff.
It does not matter in the slightest what people think of you. You know who you are. You're fine.
Then I go home. And I tell Jester my wrist hurt.
I tell you that you're the best RuneScaper to ever live.
I don't play RuneScape.
You've killed King Black Dragon more times than I can count.
None.
You have slayed Verzik over 1,000 times and gotten 10,000 sites. 10,000 sites would be like $1 million in real life, Anna.
Wow.
If you could find somebody who could buy them all before your account got banned.
Says Phil, thank you for the follow. At the same time though, Jester.
Holy fuck, it's Seth. What are you doing lurking on my fiance's stream? What the fuck?
What? I'm confusion. Treats you like a princess, right? He does. Jester's great, man. I've been here for a minute, dude, lol.
Anna, I don't know if you can remember Seth in any other way than that one time that you both got introduced to Meow Neko Sugar Girls.
Oh, that guy!
I can't fucking believe you remember it that way.
He was great!
Holy shit!
He was so down. Yeah, I was showing both of y'all Meow Neko Sugar Girls. And he loved it, like a cultured person.
Hope you're well, GG, homie.
But yeah, my Jester's good. He always, every time I'm trying to do something, he'll be like, I can do that. So that I'm not like using my hands and stuff. He is a gentleman. Yeah.
I'm something, man.
Until he takes my fucking pizza.
See, our pizza, comrade.
My pizza. My pizza.
That's not what the contract was signed for.
Pizza is mine.
XD.
I accidentally, so yesterday I got zooted because I was so tired of my fucking wrist hurting that I drank a THC soda and got high. First off, it was great because it didn't hurt anymore for the time I was high. Felt normal again. Like, my wrists have been like this for like 3 months. But these past couple weeks, it's been freaking rough, buddy. And heckin'... What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I got high. It was great. And then, what was even crazier was it was like a green apple soda. And there was no aftertaste. Until you got to, like, to the bottom, like the butt. Delicious. The whole, almost the whole way through. 99% of the way through. Delicious. And yesterday, Jester got his pizza. Because the pizza place is like, what, 40% off? 50% off?
It's half price until like...
Half price.
Tomorrow or something.
Wow. So I wasn't sure what kind of pizza I wanted. I was like, I just want pepperoni. Just pepperoni. And I guess at some point I had 3 slices initially before anything hit. And I was like, I'm taking my 3 smallest slices and I'm gonna let these sit. And then things started hitting within an hour or so. And I had another slice. And then I think I grabbed another slice. But one of the slices was not mine. It was Jester's pizza. I accidentally ate one of Jester's pizza slices.
Gas!
But he said, don't worry. You accidentally ate my pizza. That's okay.
I won't kill you this day.
I'll just take one of your slices.
Sleep with one eye open.
You're lucky I didn't order fucking Hawaiian, bro. You're just lucky I didn't order Hawaiian or some shit.
Sad.
So, yeah, I love Hawaiian. And I was thinking about it. But I chose not to. Because I was just like, I'm not super in the mood. I just want something simple. I just want pepperoni. But the problem was, despite mine just being pepperoni, I couldn't see the chicken on Jester's. Cause you had like a meat lovers, right? What was on your pizza again?
Chicken, bacon, pepperoni, herbs and garlic and spices.
I'll be real. It just tasted like pizza.
That's racist.
It just tasted like pizza, bro. It's probably why I couldn't tell immediately. But even then, I ate it. And yeah. I was cruise controlled for the rest of the day. Night. I was so high. I woke up this morning. Now, I don't think THC gives you hangovers. And this wasn't really a hangover. It was more so I woke up and I still kind of felt high. But it could have also been like grogginess, you know? It felt like being groggy. So I just laid in bed with like a video playing. And eventually I woke up. And then, still really pretty late, I slept in. And then had, made some brunch for myself. I made pancakes. And then only had 1 pancake. I made blueberry oatmeal pancakes. Only had 1. And then said I want bacon and eggs instead. And made bacon and eggs instead. But hey. Now I got pancakes. For when I actually want them. So it's fine.
Our pancakes.
Our pancake. 3 of them are yours.
Let's go.
3 of them are yours. I made 6. The with the amount of blueberries we had and the measured-ish amount, it made 6 pancakes.
Can I get a Pog Champ? Can I get a Poggies? Okay.
Snuggles your necky wecky. Rar. Can I get a hooya? I don't have one, sorry. So yeah, I've had like, I have a fro wow. Fro wow.
Oh, I can read. That says Frozen 8 Pog.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. It is a frozen pog. That's good enough. That's a pog.
That's good enough.
That's a pog.
Aaron good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the emote's called Frozen Pog.
Fuck it, I got it.
That's yours.
So? You're gonna be racist to my emotes now?
No.
Unbelievable.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I said. Freaking... What the... Just for that, I'm gonna shout you out.
Oh shit! I haven't been live in like 7 months! Let's go!
Yeah. Go follow Jester. He'll come back streaming at some point.
I will, eventually.
Mm-hmm. And heckin' people will rejoice. Enable them notifications. Yes. Pretty sure I am. Yeah, there you go. Ah, man. Heckin' ring and pizza and stuff aside, I think in general this has just been a rough week. It's been a pretty rough week. Like, not even just for me. Like, for me it was mostly wrist pain and like ring anxiety. But I think in general, I miss the Jester, says Din. Din, it's really late for you, hun. My tea's not hot anymore. My home's been quiet. My week's been quiet at home, watching in bed. Oh. Heckin'. Hi, Spicy. Hello, hello. Just to reheat the brew. Oh no, it's okay. This is like the last cup of tea. So like if I wanted... Oh no, there's still more in here. It's fine. It doesn't need to be reheated. I can just... This is a very small personal teapot. I could always just make more.
Our brew.
You don't drink tea, Jester.
XD.
How are you doing, Spicy? How you doing, hon? Heckin'. Excuse me.
Me too.
Big chillin'? Yeah, I feel that. It's been a freaking week. Again, my week's mostly been wrist pain and ring anxiety. But like, after we finished kind of ring hunting and getting a general idea of what we like and what we want, I ate so much sashimi. There's this like sushi place we like to go to because it's like an all-you-can-eat. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet with like the iPad, and it's like $30 a seat, but we almost never go to the other city. So like we go there and we just get so much nigiri. So much nigiri. We get so much. This time I had more sashimi than nigiri, cause legit, we be getting full pretty quickly. Cause normally we have like our own little ritual. We haven't been like on the ball exactly for a while. But what we used to do whenever we would go to a sushi place, we would start with miso soup and we would end with miso soup. Mostly, we still start with miso soup. We still start with miso. But whenever we go to this place, I want miso soup and I want edamame beans. I want edamame. I love edamame so much. Do you know how much it sucks eating edamame when your wrists can't pinch the beans? I couldn't pinch the beans. It sucked. It hurt so bad. I gotta fix that part. Ooh, I gotta fix that part of the hoodie. I gotta fix that. No beans. I had to like massage them out with like my teeth and my lips to like mum the beans out. It felt so stupid. Heckin', hold on, I wanna... Just making sure I've got this paired in the right spot. No. Okay, 1 second. I have an idea. This stupid thing, trying to fix it. Okay, a little bit higher. Oh.
No, I'm not trying to suck your toes, but hey, pretty girl, I'm sucking toes. The way you do the things you do reminds me of me sucking your toes. That's why I'm all up in your toes.
Eat the edamame whole. No, you're not supposed to eat that part of the bean. You're not supposed to eat that part of the bean. Why you're weird. I'm trying to like get... Alright, it's more or less straight. Because of like how the pinning is, like you can really tell here. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it more or less. All right, I think I got it. Either way, point is, as I was saying, miso soup, edamame. Now, the past couple times, well, oh, I see that bit of blue peeking out again. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out with this. But the past couple times, the last time we went, not this previous time, but the one before that, we heckin', I ordered shrimp shumai. And for those who don't know, it looks like a dumpling, though it's kind of open head, and it's filled with shrimp. It's kind of like a shrimp meatball, let's say. And it's held together with pork oil. It is very rich. I don't know what it is about shumai that is just very rich. And I ordered, when you order the little sets, because you can order them in sets and that's how they bring it to you. Like if you order like a roll and all you can eat, you get like maybe 4 to 6. Either way. So I order the shumai, which come in sets of 3. I ordered 2 sets of 3. And after like 1 or 2, me and Jester were like, fuck, these are so heavy. these little things, these little beans, these little boyos fucking wrecked us. They're so rich. I think they were absolutely delicious, but God, are they rich. So then this time around, I was like, okay, well, they have shumai and they have soup dumplings. I've never had a soup dumpling. It shouldn't be as rich as the shrimp shumai. It was like a meatball. I'm guessing also has pork oil, and it comes in those little bamboo like steamed things. And it's a soup dumpling. We've deduced that it's more likely the pastry, the dough that is surrounding this stuff, that is just really, really like indulgent. because this time I thought smart. I only got one set of soup dumplings so that we at least had one, and then if the other one could still eat, then we had a third. Oh my god. Pretty heavy stuff. Still heavy. Not as heavy as a shumai, but still pretty heavy. And Jester was like, no, you can have that other one. You can have that other one. And I was like, fuck. It is what it is, though. It is what it was. They were good. They were just way too, like, heavy. But Jester ordered rolls, and I kept ordering sashimi. So shrimp sashimi, butterfish, surf clam, shrimp. And I could just keep eating that. But Jester started getting full. And I think it's because of the nigiri, since it's just rice. As good as sushi rice is, and boy does sushi rice fuck so well. I love it. It's rice, and it's gonna fill you up. I didn't eat as much nigiri as him because of that either. But I think the rice is what fills us up. Because at some point he was like, I gotta go to the washroom. And I was like, while he's gone, I was like, I could still eat a little bit more. I'm feeling a little peckish. So I order a flying row sushi. And then I order like 5 pieces of surf clam nigiri. And I'm just like, I have the, not the nigiri, the sashimi. I have the flying roe fish, because it's like, it's the fish eggs on top of a little mound of rice and then wrapped in the seaweed. I had that, and it was delicious. But that was also that thing I was like, yeah, if you gave me another one of that, it would be a little bit hard for me to finish to do it. But the sushi, I was just like, It's like I have another stomach for sashimi. Like Loki, I was like, I ordered another nigiri and then just a bunch of sashimi, and I ate all of it. Just ate salmon and surf clam and butterfish and tuna, and all of it was delicious. I tried with wasabi. I don't like wasabi. It just doesn't really taste like anything. It's just a poopy feeling in my mouth, and I hate it. It just does not taste good. Does not. But I think I feel like with myself, I feel myself gravitating more towards sashimi now. I still love nigiri, but I think I might be aiming more towards sashimi now. Because it's like, first off, we all know that I have a bit of a thing with my weight, and I'm always like worrying about what I'm eating and stuff. So sashimi is pretty much carb free because it's just fish. I just also think that in general, if I really want to make the most out of an all-you-can-eat buffet, like this one, I think I can put away a lot more sashimi than nigiri. It's just that good. Because again, all the sashimi is just sans the rice. And most of the time, the reason we order like salmon and butterfish and surf clam and octopus in my thing, because I love octopus, is because of that, not because of the rice. It's because of that. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me save myself like 2 spoonfuls of rice. Let me save myself the mouthful of rice and just get the fish. Just get the fish. And I can put more away. And I feel like because of that, my meal also went a lot faster, went a lot further. And like, ended up leaving the restaurant feeling pretty darn good. We were both pretty full. Jester was really full. He was like, my tummy My tummy's so full. I was like, yeah, it's so full. It's so full of fish. It's so full of fish. Heckin'.
Oh.
So full of fish. Absolutely. What was I gonna say though? But yeah, been a rough week. But I think with things going on now, because we're not gonna talk about current events. I've already said my piece on Twitter. I don't really wanna like go into it. But things are a little scary. Thank you. Things are a little scary right now, huh? Things are kind of crazy. Like, they're pretty scary stuff. Like, I saw videos. I didn't want to see those. And not even just of the really big one, the one before that. I saw that one too, and I was that one shook me up. I've seen some crazy shit. I've been on the internet for a very, very long time. I have seen some shit. I think the craziest thing I ever saw in my years of being online, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't even know how I got to it. I don't even know how the fuck I got to it. It was, I'm guessing it was like some sort of like Southeast Asian village. Probably in like Cambodia, and like it looked like regions of India sort of thing, but I don't know, so I'm just gonna mostly say Southeast Asian, Southeast Indian, or East Indian. And I just remember it was a bunch of people going into like a river, and they're pulling out of the river this huge, I don't know if it was, I'm assuming it was an alligator, but it could have very well been a crocodile. I don't know, but it was in the water. And they pull out this huge fucking crocodile or alligator. And it's already dead. I'm guessing they found some way to kill it. And heckin', it was a fucking huge one. I think at some point they cut under more or less where its neck would be. And they open it. They just fucking open it like Santa's bag of presents. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? What is going on here? I don't even remember how old I was. It was definitely like within the past couple years. But definitely before COVID. I want to maybe say it was 2018. I don't remember. And they open this alligator. And I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do? And they reach in and they pull out a body part. They pull out a leg. And into that leg, they put it into another bag that I'm gonna assume it was maybe a village or something. Somebody's holding a bag, and they put that body part into the bag. They go back in there, they go back into Santa's alligator, and they pull out another body part, and it's like an arm. and they put it in the bag. And then at some point, they really reach in there and they pull out another arm, and attached to it was like the shoulders, head of a guy. And it's like, oh. After that, I immediately clocked what was happening, but also closed out of the video. Because again, I don't even know how the fuck I got into this. Yeah. So, without knowing what language it was speaking or anything, my guess was that whoever this person was, they were killed by this alligator and eaten by this alligator. And if you know anything about crocodiles and alligators, they don't just eat you whole. They can't. They need to rip you apart. So when they grab you, they start rolling. And that's how they rip you apart. And then they eat you. So this alligator killed somebody and ate him. And after the fact, they find this alligator and hunt him down and open him up to get their friend out of there. He's already dead. Like, long dead. Again, pieces of him. But they find the alligator, kill the alligator, and get their friend out of there so that they can properly bury him. Or whatever they do for funeral rites. But holy shit, was that crazy. Holy shit. I don't even remember how the hell I got there. I don't know what the I don't know what the fuck I don't know what how I got there. Maybe I was looking up something to do with PETA. Because like freaking I don't know if she's still the president of PETA, but the lady that runs PETA said that when she dies, she wants to be skinned and her skin turned into a purse. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I got to it, because I was definitely not looking for that sort of shit. Yeah, no, PETA's crazy. Don't support PETA. PETA sucks. PETA kills animals. Don't give your animals to PETA. They're not gonna help them. They're gonna kill them. But yeah, I saw that video. That one was like, oh, I think because I remember it so vividly, I will say that is definitely the video that is stuck with me the most when it comes to like crazy shit online. PETA should have been defunded. It's a waste of money. I'm surprised that PETA at this point isn't considered something resembling a terrorist organization. I think it's because they haven't killed anybody yet. But I don't know why anybody takes that fucking organization seriously. They do nothing for nobody. It is just a foundation of useless people. An absolutely useless foundation. It's like, I'd understand if you guys wanted to be like Vegans Unite and shit. And yeah, there are some places in the meat industry that are cruel. And something should be done about those. But PETA ain't it. PETA don't want you to do anything with animals. They don't want you to have pets. They don't want you to have service animals. They don't want you to have like anything that good that has resulted in like, cause I hate animal testing too. Like, I buy cruelty free when I can. There are certain things like medicines and stuff that are tested on animals because they can't be tested on people first. And I'll be real with you. We should low-key be using it on people because it's going to be used for people. And injecting a rat with something might not give the exact, might give us a desired outcome, but then you inject it into a person and nothing happens. Like, you know, but I'm also not gonna act like I know this fucking shit because I don't. But, when it comes to certain medicines and stuff, I'm not super against using people to test for it. I'm not against it. I know most people, when they think of human testing, they think of like evil shit, and I can totally understand that, but I don't think when it comes to certain testing things, like after it goes on, I think it's the case though. Once it passes like animal clinical trials, then it goes to humans. So I could be wrong. I don't know. But PETA sucks, is what I'm saying. So, B. But yeah, I saw those two videos. I saw the one of, I saw the assassination. And I saw the lady in the subway. And both are pretty fucked. Both are pretty fucked. But I won't speak more about that. I've already made my point on Twitter clear. At least I think I made it pretty clear. It's just very scary. And I've thought about both more than I honestly should be. They've been on my mind more than they should be. Some people might disagree that it's like you should think about that stuff, and it's like I don't have to think about the video itself. I didn't. There are some things that are like kind of like burned into my memory now, and they both make me very sad. And I'm sure that for most people, regardless on what side of the fence you sit at, I think most people, if they saw those videos, would be like, yeah, that's fucked up. That shouldn't have happened. I guess, all I will say is that, I really hope, if there's anything to truly be taken out of this, because everyone's speaking in a certain way and some people are being more incendiary than others, to just try to be kind and listen to people. Give, if you feel like someone is coming in good faith or genuine curiosity, to be kind. It's crazy that for some people that is too hard, or they feel like there is an asterisk on be kind. And that sucks. But I have always tried, and I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I slip. I've always tried to give people benefit of the doubt. When people ask me a question, I try to take it from an angle of sincerity, from someone who wants to know what's going on or wants a genuine answer and is willing to listen to that. When it comes to the matter of debate, I believe that in a debate, both sides should consider the possibility that their minds could be changed. that they could walk away from the debate and be like, I learned something today. Or I see something now from a different perspective. There are some things that we hold steadfast to, again. There are certain opinions that I do not stand by at all. But nobody deserves to go the way that that person went. Isn't that the point of a debate outside of potentially proving a point? You'd think, yeah. I think so. I think so, at least. Some people don't. Some people see debate as, I'm going to scream my point at you, and if you keep arguing it, I'm gonna throw a buzzword at you, and say that you're wrong. And that is not how debate works. That is not how conversation works. That is not how an exchanging of ideas works. I thought debate is like collective lecture hall. I think that's more debate team than debate hall. Mostly the idea of a debate. If we're to make it very simple, if someone was like, oranges are better for you, and you were like, no, apples are better for you, and you both have your facts and your points and maybe even your opinions, talking about them, just talking about them in opposing ways is a debate. You bring your facts and ideas and opinions, they bring their facts, ideas, and opinions, and when everything is said and done, or when someone's like, I think we have reached a consensus here, or we've reached an impasse where this is where it finishes, you walk away. And you can either think about the things you've learned, if you've learned anything, if you brought up a fact and someone debunked it and proved that that wasn't actually a fact, or your opinion might not have been as well informed, or and someone gave more context and things like that. You think about those things. And then from there, your opinion can evolve. It doesn't have to change, but it could even evolve. You could add nuance to it, you know? But the moment people throw ad hominems or strawmans or whatabouts or just plain insults, the debate is over because it's not a debate anymore. It's just a mudslinging contest. That's what it is. And there were people that tried to talk, and there were people who just wanted to mudsling. And then, unfortunately, there were people who didn't even want to do that. They wanted to throw punches. They wanted to throw actual things. And some were just willing to silence entirely. And the moment someone has decided that the conversation is done, when someone is like, no, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to hear you, I don't like anything you have to say, and someone takes that feeling to an extreme, that's when we have violence. And I feel like if we're going to pretend to be like, my brain's braining, if we're going to pretend to act like we're a functioning society or like people with a fucking frontal lobe, we need to recognize that that's not how we do things. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you are in. Like, that is a bipartisan thing. The moment that is a bipartisan point. The moment conversation stops is when violence has the chance to start. There have been people that have come into my chat who have said some shit that I do not agree with. Unless they're actually being nasty, I try to talk to them. And if it turns out that they don't see, or they don't understand, or they don't want to, whatever, I again try my best. I've slipped. I'm like, you do not have to stay here. Have a nice day. I am sorry that we don't agree. I'm sorry if it seems that maybe I'm not budging. It feels like you're not budging, and that's fine. I hope that, you know, I find, you know, certain points, XYZ points, on your side, on your side to be misinformed. I hope you look into that, or maybe listen to people from that side and give them a chance to speak. If you've ever had an experience where the stance is because someone threw a buzzword at you and labeled you, I'm sorry that that happened. And then I just hope that if they do choose to leave, that when they think back of, oh, whenever I say my opinion, I'm called a this or that, except for that one time. Except for that one time. I talked to that dumb pink VTuber and she talked to me like a person. You know? I've had it a couple times where I've debated here and there with people on Twitter, and I don't do that often. And I've ended it with, you know, we've reached an impasse. I'm sorry that, you know, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get much further, blah, blah, blah. And have a nice day. And I've had some people tell me, you have been so polite. I'm only at, like, some people have been like, I'm only entertaining this and being respectful because you have been respectful. And I'm just like, yeah, just be respectful. Don't call me a name. Don't say that I deserve this, or like I'm a person and you're a person. And I want to treat you like a person. I want to talk to you like a person. Again, the moment somebody come in my chat being like, you fucking dumb bitch, fucking KMS and freaking KMS in Minecraft, I'd be like, aight bitch, let's go, bye. Ban. We don't do that shit. I give you the exact same energy you bring to me. I give it right back to you. You've opened the floodgates, not me. You're the one that freaking, you know, stuck your toe in that shit. But for the most part, 90% of people where they're like, hi, how's it going? I do my best to try to be cordial, to try to be respectful, and talk to them as I would want to be talked to. I've always tried to live by that because I've had people be cruel to me and wondered, why would you do that to somebody? How could you do that to somebody? I could never be this way to somebody. But again, just some people are. Some people just suck. Some people just suck. And again, I feel like most of the people that have these opinions that so-and-so group is bad, or so-and-so group is, you know, evil, or so-and-so group is messed up in the head, and all that really vitriolic stuff you hear. I feel like 90% of those people have never interacted with somebody legitimately. I'm not even counting Twitter. Twitter's not a fucking real place, bro. I'm talking about, like, genuinely, have you sat down with some of these people and have you guys just talked to each other in good faith and tried to hear each other out and tried to hear the other point? And again, some people, even then, sometimes those people, some of those people just do not budge. Some people, again, will say they want to debate, but they just want to hear themselves talk. And that's a problem right there. There are people who don't want to debate. They just want to hear themselves talk. But there are some people who, again,
I hope at least, like me, just want to hear the other side out and be like, tell me how you reached this point, and I will tell you how I reached mine. I used to be so scared of you. Yeah, but you're also a pretty young bean, Alala. You used to be pretty young. Like, I think when you first came to the server, Alala, like you were like freshly 18 and like the chat started being pretty darn like crazy, and at the time when you were still identifying because this was obviously before you being non-binary, when you were still identifying by she her pronouns, I was just like, this person seems young. I was like, this person seems young. This person seems to like kind of still be figuring themselves out. But also some of these pepperonis around them are a bit much. And I think they need a little, they need some chaperoning. This needs a chaperone. I will protect. But I also understand that at that point I probably wasn't the best either, and can come off as at least especially back then with how I came off in text, could have been very condescending. Some of the people around there were a little bit too Henry for my tastes, that I was like, not around the freshly sprouted adult, please. Because it's like, even though you were 18, it was like you were still young. It was like, let's chill, guys. Some people were fucking weird. I said I didn't like Alan and they bit my head off. I can't remember if I was a little bit of a part of that. I think I might have just been like, you can be wrong, and then left it at that. Because I know I can be sassy. Because being sassy is a different thing. Unless this was a server that like I wasn't in, or like was barely in, sort of thing. Because I know there was like another server. There was like 2 servers that I was in but wasn't in, you know, and I didn't engage with it. But yeah, even then, it's like, come on, guys. Again, some people get really like in on their own about stuff, and that's, can't say they're not passionate, at least. But yeah, it was huge fans of NetNavi, and all I did was say he's not a good person. Oh man. Okay, then yeah, if I wasn't there, then I probably would have wanted to like maybe kind of low-key debate, but it would have been that thing of like, again, my first thing is I look at the point and I'm like, okay, you're saying he's not a good person. Why do you think Alan wasn't a good person? And then give me your points, and then we talk about each one. And again, if you end up being like, oh, okay, maybe I see things a little differently now, or no, I still feel the same, then you know it is what it was. But again, there are some people where the moment they hear a point, they're just immediately on the defensive and they don't want to hear people out. And again, there have been times where I've been caught slipping too. Or I give a reaction, if it's on stream, I give a reaction that I think would be silly and funny because I am also an entertainer. I can't remember them now, but it was a few of his actions and traits that were setting off sirens in my head, and that's fine. Again, like, there were some things about Alan that I didn't like either, that I was like, this is not good. But Alan in the NetNavi game was Alan in the NetNavi game was a lot. He was a lot of things. I will say, while being pretty darn realistic, he was not the most realistic. I feel like he had a lot of exaggerated things about him. Funnily enough, I've spoken to Blue about it, and they were like, yeah, they're not supposed to like those. Yeah. And that's another thing too. It becomes a matter of how things are presented, where it's like, I don't like that Alan is XYZ. And it's like, cool, as long as it's not portrayed like those are good qualities, then yeah, that's the point. You're not supposed to like those parts of him, you know? Like the fact that he was like super anxious and almost cowardly about certain things. And it was like, yeah, it was due to like trauma and stuff. But also it's like, again, these are in general like not good traits to have and stuff. You know, things like that. Or like the whole thing with his teacher. But yeah. All that deviation to say, and I know in general we're a very small community here. I know that like the characters were all they still stinky. Exactly. Like, I know that we're a small community at the end of the day. We're a very small community. I know that my social media is unfortunately inflated because of an animation I voiced in. But so I know my reach is very, very small, but even then I'm the way I kind of see things is if I can convince at least one person to reconsider their approach about how they see and talk to people who disagree with their opinions, then maybe in some way, shape, or form, I'm doing some good. Hi Bard, how we doing, hon? But that's kind of how I see things. Like, there's a streamer on that side who is, I do not agree with her stances. She I'm procrastinating sleep. Without saying her name, but only hinting, people really did not want GG subs to support her anymore. When I saw the stuff going down, I decided to check her out to see if she wasn't doing exactly what I thought she was gonna do. And lo and behold, she was doing exactly what I thought she was gonna do. Baking cheesecake. Ooh, I love cheesecake. But doing the exact thing I knew she was gonna do. She was saying, "We are done now. We need to fight. They want us dead. We have been too kind to them. We have been..." No. Do not agree. Do not agree. The last things we should be doing right now is inciting more hate. Especially now that we know about things we know about the perpetrator and stuff. And even then, none of that can be concrete right now. Because everybody's saying this, everybody's saying that. We don't know. But the last things we should be doing is trying to light a fire where there doesn't need to be one. And being like, we need to fight now, this is war, we need to get ready to fight back. And it's like, no. No, because that's not what your martyr wants. At least that's what he says he didn't want. He wanted you to talk to people. Even if, funnily enough, someone so dedicated to debate never seemed to follow, like, again, maybe it's not the principle of debate, but my principles of debate is, again, always open, come in with an open mind, with the possibility that it could be changed. Come in with the possibility that your mind could be changed and that you can learn something. And I don't think he ever did that. But again, I don't know him. I never looked into his stuff 100%. I don't know the full context behind the things that people are cherry picking and saying he said or he didn't say. The only points I agree with is that when people stop talking, when people decide that there is no room for conversation, is when people start getting hurt and people start dying. And then nobody wants to talk. And then everyone gets hurt, and then we all sit here and wonder what we did wrong, and it's like because you let somebody throw a punch. But either way. I agree with only that point, and that nobody should go out the way he did. Because that was brutal. That fucked. That was fucked. So, with all that being said, it's been about 2 hours. I only meant this to be a very short thing to just talk about my week, spend some time with you guys, get some things out of my chest. And again, just, you know, wherever it is you are, be safe, be kind to one another, be willing to hear people out, and just be kind to one another, and just treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's really it. Tomorrow, we might do more chilling out. I'm not sure yet. My wrists are still not in a good position for things like Elden Ring. Maybe I'll do a little bit of Honkai Star Rail since that's relatively gentle. Maybe we'll find something to react to. Or I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe I'll find like something comfy that again is very low demanding that we'll do. Bill and Ted said it best, be excellent to one another. Yeah. Just like be kind to one another. Just be nice. Treat people like people. And yeah. So, I hope you all have a wonderful night. If you sat here and spent time with me and chatted or just lurked while we had chill vibes, thank you for lurking. It was a bit of a later stream and it is a bit of a shorter one, but I'm still happy you guys were here to hear me out. I'm happy when I see like these just chatting streams do relatively well. Well, Bard, here's the thing, Bard. First off, you should be asleep. That's the first thing. You should be in bed. Second off, I've not been able to play games because my wrists are freaking giving up on life. But also because I don't want to go too late. At the risk of potentially like keeping Jester up because he's got an early shift tomorrow. So I don't want to risk going too late so that he can get good sleepies. And I know that if I was doing like Kingdom Hearts and stuff, for example, that would have been an almost 11 to midnight stream, and I wouldn't have wanted to do that to him. So yeah, so a very easy light stream. Again, always makes me happy seeing you guys here because it means that you guys maybe like sitting and chatting with me and stuff and having chill vibes. So don't worry, Bard. Don't fucking complain. We'll be here tomorrow. Depending on how I'm feeling when Jester wakes up to go to work, I might even just start streaming really early. So yeah, maybe then you can be around since it'll be prime your time, Bard. My sympathies for Jester. People show up to hear me complain. You can't take away my brand. Can't take away my brand. I've been here longer than you have, child. Fetus. I've been here way too long. Okay, Hag, calm the fuck down. Fucking right. You say Hag with a capital H. You capitalize the H on Hag. Hag Max. But yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I might clip the last little bit about certain things and see what happens there. Not that I think my message would get far, because again, very small, but who knows? Maybe it'll start a conversation. Maybe it'll get some people to be like, hey, a VTuber that freaking doesn't throw a buzzword when someone disagrees with them, you know? But yeah, I'll see you guys later. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Mwah. Bye-bye, everybody.